The film photographers have spoken and Harman is listening. This is the brand new Pheonix 2, which is an ISO 200 color film stock. I already loaded up my Pentax Spotmatic, which I'm going to use to test the 35mm film, but I also have some 120 film, and I'm going to put that into my Mamiya 6x5. See, oh, I usually don't shoot with a wide angle lens. This is fun though. So because the first release of the new Pheonix film stock was such a success and so many people gave their feedback, Harman was actually able to invest and improve some key aspects of this new film stock. This is actually one of my favorite photo spots in New York City because you can see that little gazebo over there. And it looks like we even have a wedding going on, so I'm gonna steal some shots from that. It's this lady with a really red dress. There we go. I know that people really like 400 ISO, but personally I think that 200 ISO is just the thing that I gravitate towards. I almost always shoot ISO 200, so this is pretty perfect for me. So it is very bright right now, but I think we can still get some really cool shots. I actually really like the reflection, that like sparkling that's coming off of the water coming down. Considering we're shooting with shutter speed 1000, probably will freeze it pretty nicely. We'll see. There we go. Alright, so that's the end of the first roll of film. So I'm gonna just sit down for a minute, hang out, change the film, and also talk a little bit about why I think that this new film is really good for beginners and for professionals. Pheonix 2 features a completely new emulsions with major improvements in grain, sharpness, contrast, and latitude, and a much more accurate color palette. This new emulsion retains highlights and shadows better and just generally has a better overall exposure latitude, which makes it a lot more forgiving when it comes to over and underexposing. And I think that that's the exact point that makes this a really good film for beginner photographers who might not feel super confident yet with their exposure. If you're a film photographer like me, I'm sure you understand the excitement around companies coming up with new film stocks again. And I think it's really interesting to see Harman invest so much into their research and development, and also they're aiming to build the world's biggest and most proactive film research and development program. They are on a journey to bring us better film, and I'm here for it. Now I actually got the film back, so I'm really excited to look at what we got. I feel like when you're developing film, you're always a little bit nervous that everything turned out blank, but it looks like we got a good exposure rate. Let me just dive in and see what we've got. Okay, I love this one of the lady. The grain looks amazing. It's so sharp. So I think I did pretty well on the exposure there. I just love the colors in this, and I actually think I might get this one as a print. It's always important to print your photos. If you shoot a roll film, just print one photo, even if it's just a small print. I think it's important. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow my own advice. These are perfectly exposed outside, right outside the mat. It's also, there's a pretty strong green tint in it. And I do really like that, especially in the summertime when there is so much green around. I think it really highlights the foliage and just gives it a very fresh look. I think here you can see just how vibrant the colors are on this film. So I love how, even though there's like a tendency towards the green, the reds do pop out really nicely. I think this is an interesting image because we have the foreground being very dark and the background being very light. I lifted the shadows just a little bit and it turned out great. And once again, this green tint, I really like it for this photo specifically. Some indoor shots at the Met. These were tough to expose. Seeing what it does at the bottom end of what's possible, because I still think it works and I still think that it kind of captures what we want out of shooting film. And I like how these turned out. And I think now seeing this roll of film and how all the frames turned out, I can now say that I would recommend this to a beginner just because it seems pretty lenient when it comes to over or underexposing. And I know that a lot of beginners, that's kind of the main thing that is difficult when you're starting to shoot film, is knowing your exposures because you can't adjust it while you're shooting. I always enjoy getting out there and testing a new film stock, and I really like how this little New York City series turned out. What do you think about these photos and this film stock? And also, where would you use this film? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.